I'm not paying attention. Antonio, good morning. Joshua, good morning. One week leave, good morning. To see me, Eddie, good morning. Paddy, good morning. Abby, morning. Tabo Frank, Abuza, Alex Ikosa Spark Plug Azitya. Nimi Bidi Owalulimi Rumu, thanks. Tabo Frank, this is what I do for all my cars. I go to Toyota Uganda with my chassis number. Obaji baita sifao kati. Neba tuwandika chassis number yange mu computer yabwe. Neba mpa plug ze moroka yange. Chobokola. Plaga za Toyota bwebera wano NZ area soko jazigule mitwalo nga mukaga mukenda. Bwebera wano NZ ene yaddako yinzo zigule mitwalo nga 2 mu something. Genda jobogula plaga, jengula plaga ze moroka zange zonna. All the cars I drive, plugs I buy them from Toyota. If they are Toyotas. Hashim, good morning. Nick Wabui, good morning. Paul Tegeda, great good morning. Radio Tebaji was in Ecuador. Never did busy. Nankora inspection. So yesterday I did 2 inspections. Only one was successful. Good morning, Farouk. How are ya? Use this one. So, they don't date waka. That's why you see it in Tadiki no broadcast. They get up banyo mira and take them neka AC because take them umusaja wa YouTube BDF abadicho. Nite muda bantu bana abantu batujoga bujozi. Bwemba mwagala tuka mangu mukerenga. Nini mtaniko tujanga kukuba. Temutu bayira mudala ya do tugezo tutono tuno. I hope one will not have the go and so yesterday we bought a fielder. Raiwa Clark Raim. Good morning, people. So yesterday we did an inspection. It took a fielder million kumina Musave UAX. And when I posted that car, make sure they are clean. I'm challenging people banangi. Today I have a lady. Naya yagaragula fielder. I'm challenging someone to get me a fielder that looks better than that. Kakubanga emoroka yabadde by the way dugala. I don't pretend sagala emoroka tujigulanga bweri era we tujigudde bire bifananyi. That car was in very good condition. Era ebintu byetwagambye byetaaga okukola byetaaga okukola only the 2 shocks ebirala biri in perfect condition. The car was very well maintained. Interior HRC original yonna ateli it's the higher trim of that model. Gumasebo Kasta your boys got a police car yesterday. Ngume nange nefune sawe yebe. Good morning. Yes, Dr. Aman Mahmoud, I'm using more English. Yeah, so I saw guys saying that those cars were expensive. Omanyi, before you go to the car market, you think that the people that buy cars at higher prices just don't know where the cheap cars are. It's exactly the same thing I told. There's a gentleman the gentleman that bought a Nua, I think sometime. He said there are brokers that told him of cheap cars somewhere. We said let's go there, but every time we would reach a place where the cheap cars are, the broker would either say the car has been bought, or buy it's in another place, or but they would offer us another car. You get? So it's very easy for you to think that cars are simply being expensive at this moment. And I'm telling you that cars are going to get even more expensive next year. Why? Because if someone is importing, for example, a 2008 model of a car, they have to pay taxes at Mombasa port. Or whatever the port they decide to use, they have to pay for taxes. They have to pay the taxes there before they get to Kampala. It's only the expensive cars that don't get to pay taxes before they reach here. Do you know what that means? That means that those cars, they come with number plates, and it's mostly the traders that buy those cars. Which take it. Arthur, for sure as well, I thought I can get that fielder at like 15. If you can get it, that's why I tell you guys, get cars before you come to me. Get cars before you come to me. Because we can stick to those cars and choose the best among the cars you've seen. But if you want something that is really nice, if you want something that is really nice, because there are so many things that we look at. We look at what trim level. For example, if you look at the interior picture of that Fielder that I posted, you will get a Fielder, but you may not get the trim that we bought yesterday. And 15 million used to be a lot of money, by the way. It used to be a lot of money in the past. Like someone would have 15 million and they would basically get a UB series. I remember last year, the Fielder, one of the first software engineers we bought for is called the very first person that bought a Fielder. We bought a UBF Fielder at 20. We bought it I think 23 or 24 million. The reason why we bought that Fielder at 24 million, because it was a 2006 model, was because all the 2002, 2003 model Fielders were being sold at 18, 19, 18, 19, 18, 19, which take it. And I personally found that they were not worth the money. That's why I told him, why don't we just buy a new model Fielder? As a matter of fact, we paid part of the money and he finished the balance later. Which take it. Good morning, Uncle Fidox Tours and Travel. Abu Beka Asime, good morning. Good morning, Martha. Good morning, Bridget Kakai. Yeah. So it's possible that you can get a Fielder. And by the way, 15 million is not bad money. 15 million, you can get any car you desire. The difference now is going to be in what condition. Because there are things that are very easy for you to think that they make a car very bad. Things like shock absorbers. I can tell you that the Vitz I had was new, UB series, by the way. But I bought new shocks within like 3 weeks of driving that car. I bought that car knowing very well that one of the shocks was bad. But do you know why I bought that Vitz? It's because even if they gave you the money that I bought that Vitz at, you will not find it. But take it. I want to buy a Paso. Is to buy now. It need your word, bro. But the Paso you can buy. It's not a bad Paso. It's not a bad car. I find that instead of buying a Paso, why don't you buy a Vitz, the new model? They literally have the same engine, yet the Vitz gives you much more comfort and space. Those are brokers now pretending to know cheap cars where they are now. I don't want to really assume that they are brokers, but every time I've found that someone says that car is expensive, I can get you a cheaper one, or we can get a cheaper one, they are normally brokers. I've also found that brokers are seriously trying to beat down for the love of cars. I talked about catalytic converters on TikTok. And there is that way to say that talking about catalytic converters is very expensive, and that he was once targeted and almost died. You get, because he talked about catalytic converters. I know what catalytic converters are. I'm actually going to dedicate a broadcast here for catalytic converters so that you guys understand why catalytic converters are being stolen. But let's get away from there. Why people are assumably targeting for the love of cars is because for the love of cars they will serve too. Which take it. You guys are getting you're getting enlightened, and people don't want that. People eat from the ignorance. They feast from the ignorance of other people. For example, if you end up not knowing what is right, then it's very easy for someone to take advantage of you. Which take it. After that means I can buy my car Paso, no problem. Buy a Paso, no problem. Although I'm telling you that why don't you buy a Vitz new model? The Vitz gives you much more space. Which take it. And it's almost the same price. I'm thinking it's even the same price. Good morning, Derek Lule. Hi, Ivan Kayuchi. How is Mecca? Arthur, I'm torn in between the Harrier 2010 and the Vanguard. Which one should I buy? Uncle Fidox, I find that the Vanguard is a very good car. It looks strong and old, but I find that the Harrier looks sexier. So it depends on what you want. Do you want to look macho or do you want to look sexy? But I also, the other thing you need to consider with the Harrier or the Vanguard is that the Harrier is too common now. The Vanguard is not. You get, the Vanguard is not too common, and then the Vanguard gives you seven seats, I think. Does it? I think yes. The Harrier gives you only 5 seats. which take it. So anyway, let's go back to the fielder. And today, guys, I'm reminding you, today is Market Tuesday. You guys can market your business, you can market your products, you can tell us where to find you and how to support you. Because this is Christmas period. People are basically buying so many things. People are buying land, people are buying cars, people are buying clothes and phones, people are buying literally everything that they can buy with the money they have. So if you have something on sale, and people here might buy from you, this is your time to tell us about your business or products and where they are found. You might as well share your phone number. I've been telling you how to share your phone number. The best way to share your phone number is by writing the figure underscore another figure underscore another figure. Then you'll be able to take all. Yeah, Chris Fitness, good morning. Yeah, so anyway, we bought a fielder yesterday. The gentleman that bought a fielder yesterday came, I think, 2 weeks ago or by a week ago. And the time he had a meeting, and then we started late to do the search, so he wasn't able to get a fielder. Apparently, the fielder is hot cake. That's one thing you need to understand. And I tried to advise him to buy the newer model because I find that we were buying an older model of a fielder at a higher price. But buying cars is not entirely based on the models of the car or what better thing we can get for the money we have. Sometimes buying a car is entirely based on the maximum that someone can spend. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's important that we understand why people buy the cars they buy. We went and saw the new model fielders at 23, at 24, that were in UB series, UBF, UBD, but this gentleman would not go that high. You get? So it's when by the time we buy a certain car, trust me, I've talked to that person multiple times. I've tried to make them see certain aspects that apply. Majority of the time, by the time someone thinks about, oh Arthur, you guys bought this car very expensively, oh Arthur, why didn't you buy this other car? Everything, I'm one kind of person that thinks long term. I'm one person that looks at the options we might as well get, and I try to consider all of them. But we need to understand that sometimes the people that have come to buy cars have already thought about what they want to buy. They have thought about the budget. They have thought about the things they decide. I'll give you an example. The gentleman that bought the fielder that we're going to get from the bond today, we were not able to get it yesterday. The gentleman that bought that fielder, for example, I'll give you an example. We bought that car. It had no sport rims, okay? And we asked the Moyindi that was selling us the fielder to give us sport rims at our price. The Moyindi accepted. He put the sport rims. Now this gentleman called me yesterday and he said, you know what, Arthur, I don't like the sport rims they gave me with that car. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to go ahead and buy new rims. You get? So I offered to buy the rims that are on that fielder from him, and we have said we are going to talk about the prices. He'll give me those rims. Their size rims 15. I'm going to buy them from him as he goes to buy the other rims that he wants to buy. You get it? So the rims that are on the fielder have nothing wrong with them, but he doesn't like them. There's a design of rims that he wants. I'll give you another example. The gentleman still that bought that fielder from the bond, he had all the money to pay for the fielder. He decided he wasn't going to pay full amount. Instead, he decided he would buy that car, pay part of the money, and you know what he's going to do? He's going to put Maridadi in the car. That is more than 1 million. And then he will pay for the car later. So you guys need to understand that sometimes when people buy cars, they have choices. All the choices you put on the table for someone, and you know, my buying process is very in the open. That's why it doesn't matter what car we buy. I will always put it out there for you guys to come and say, oh, maybe this was, and then there are always reasons for that. It's true. Now I can differentiate between good and bad cars. I used to like the Golf. Yeah, yes, Paul Tege. Hi, bro. What's up, man? Is it possible to buy a car with a photocopy of my national ID and a police note? Because I lost my wallet a few months ago, and next month in 2024 I want to get a Toyota Wish. But Chief Dennison, you as a buyer, you don't need a lot. As a buyer, your national ID is enough. Your photocopy is enough. As a buyer, your photocopy does the job. With the agreement, you don't even need a national ID. It's just with the transfer process that you need a national ID. I hope you have a TIN number, but it's just that with the TIN number or the transfer process for your car, that's the only place that it's the only time you need a national ID. So today is Market Tuesday, guys. I'm not going to answer any more questions from now on. Questions should be reserved for Friday because Friday is Question Friday. So come and ask me questions on Friday. Today is Market Tuesday. This is the time for you guys to come and try and market your businesses. So today, no more questions, guys. Don't ask me any more questions. If you're asking me questions, be asking questions about marketing. Marketing. That's the only question I want to hear now. Today, don't ask me questions about cars. The fielder we bought yesterday. I'll give you another example, by the way, you guys. Yesterday we bought a RAV4. We are going to conclude the transaction today. We bought a RAV4, and this is what I can tell you about the other person that bought the RAV4. I'm sure he's live. This couple was willing to buy a used RAV4 at 28 million. So I was telling this couple, you guys, why don't you go to the bond? I got an offer to buy a Toyota Nua 2008 at 30 million. Yes, so if there's someone that had wanted to buy a Toyota Nua 2008 model at 2008 and they were being told 33, 34, someone offered to sell us a Nua in the bond. Of course, it already had a number plate. It has a number plate UBP, but it has not been driven in Uganda at 30 million. So I was telling this couple, why don't we just go and buy a Nua? And let me tell you, there are things that influence people's choices. For this couple, their choice is influenced by, the lady was telling me that her husband grew up, the husband's father was a very generous man. And he had the taxi chigege. Ngabantu buli bafirwa, muzeyi yatwalako abantu. Bayina omukolo yatikka buli omu. Abantu, they don't even want to spend transport. They wait for him. So he decided, yes, the Nua is a very good deal, but we are never going to buy a Nua because I don't want to be the transport of the village. Like abantu bebafirwa, bakubiranze. And I think he's also as generous as the father, so he would not say no. So he doesn't want to get himself in the position where he has to say no to people. So instead they decided, let's buy the RAV4 because it's a 5-seater. No one will send to Alako, Simanya to Afiridwa, Simanya Pakumodoka. It's an executive car and all. So that decision of buying a RAV4, of course the RAV4 we bought wasn't 28 million eventually, but I'm saying that the decision for them to buy a RAV4 instead of a Nua, even when the RAV4 would be much more expensive, is based on something that is totally not price based. It's not based on Webiorowoza. Abantu abalala sibi baba balowooza. So ebiseera ebimu tugenda ntulowooza nti ffe tuli bagezi okusinga abantu abalala. Naye munnange, gwe toli mugezi kusinga muntu mulala. Si gwali mu mutima gwe, si gwali mu bwongo bwe. People have been through things that influence their decisions. Because if you go to the decision-making process, people make decisions based on so many things, but experience is one of them. So it's important that we understand that decisions are based on much more than money. Decisions are based on much more than what we think. Omanye ojja kulowooza nti gwe bw'okwata miliyoni 15 nyingi. Sente ezo by the way si ntono. But we need to consider, like I want us to consider two main things. First of all, cars are expensive generally since they are begun. Second of all, this is the Christmas period. Anybody that decided to buy cars during the Christmas period, I told you the story of before we bought the fielder. Twagenda mu kabondi akamu, omusajja najja n'atubalatirako. Obusente bwammwe butono, mugula n'amabanja. Abalina sente bajja kujja bazigule mugende. We did not buy a car from that bond, even when we could have bought a car from that bond, because of omusajja yali ayogera bubi. But right now, even the people that are selling cars are nenga amazima kali nti eri fielder wadde yabadde dduga fielder yabadde nnungi nnyo. We checked everything out. Okujjako yina akatala ke yabadde teyina, we made sure that person pays for the katala. Era wadde twamuwadde sente nze nazijja ku sente ze nzijjako mitwalo 5 ne mugaa katala ako ffe katugule bubiri naye akamu gwaba akasasula, and we took it. Okay, guys, Market Tuesday. Rome, share your phone number. I told you the way to share your phone number. You write the figure underscore another figure underscore another figure underscore. Newobera makanika, newobera broker, go to the Moroka. And by the way, the people that challenged our decision of the fielder we bought yesterday, I'm challenging you. Today I'm with a lady. We want to buy a fielder or Alex. We want something that is very affordable and good. So you WhatsApp me and give me your offers to get to Baguleko. You give us a good offer, we come and buy. Modric, good morning. Jovan, good morning. Arthur, even with that tint, I can still see you. Olimba Jovani. Olimba. I think Orengera Kasimu kanono gambo ye Arthur. Nenga ye tint omulabi anti kwa kirasa above. Arthur, is this still the same fielder you talked about in the broadcast you did on Sunday? Or this is another one? No, Chris Fitness, the fielder from yesterday is another one. The fielder I talked about on Sunday is new in the bond. Good morning, Arthur. My choice that I'm saving 15.5 for the car, 500k for the inspection, and then save 1.5 more for the pimp, my ride. Nayenga 15.15 is for the car. How is my plan? Your plan is good. Your plan is very good, by the way. There is a time, by the way, if you go back to the history of this channel, you will see there is a person that bought a fielder. Over yalinga UAY. I think it was a UAY. Ngasi nungi kutuka fielder je twaguze gulu yajigule $18,000. Ate oyo mwami twali tutambudde nga tunonyeza fielder. We looked for a good fielder and failed to find it until we decided to buy this fielder. Before we went on a search for fielders, we looked at this particular fielder and I ignored it ngate tujajigula si nungi. Naye tugenda oyingira akatale ngate the fielders we are seeing are worse than the fielder I refused to buy in the morning. So we went back and just bought the fielder. You just scroll in the community tab, you will see there is a fielder. I think it was silver. The gentleman took the fielder. I think Obana Yadia Inokora shocks. But that fielder was better than the fielders we saw in the market that day. That's why we went back. Actually, we paid for that fielder in the evening. So yesterday's fielder was actually better than the fielder, that particular fielder. And we bought it 17 million. But Starch, your plan is good. I'm really crossing my fingers that by the time you're ready to buy a car, we can get like a 2006 model, the one that looks better. It would be a very good prayer a prayer for mine. Never to tujifunye model okay, you feel the piange ninga mo UBA. It would be a very good thing because feel the bini mukaga eri better. Never tujifuna ngeri mo UBA ngataina mipira shoko zo nanfu suspension iyo nanfu. But for me, if you can get like a 2006 model, it looks much better, it's much more comfortable. That's my prayer. Nenga atezi inzokwe sala because people are buying newer cars. People, Arthur, okay, good morning, Arthur. Semusu Wilbur, good morning. Roman Agambe, hello, I sell decoders that are free to air. You can watch Champions League, Premier League, documentaries, and all channels in the world. Thanks for Market Tuesday. Roman, you have not shared your phone number. Please share your phone number. Your phone number, the way you write your phone number, 1-7-7-. You need to share your phone number like that. But sharing a number as a full number, take comments. Good morning, Papa, Arthur, and all car lovers. Super yes, beautiful people. It's another day, another opportunity to go there, make some money. Thank you. Blessed day to you too. Travel Life Vlog. How is Djibouti, my brother? Bashir Mkarazi, good morning. Roman Rome, yes. Rache kumiata ku zero. Obasi checho Roman Rome, the other way you could do that. When you parking but I have to go this side. So King Daniels, good morning. Good morning, Moses Heath, Roman Rome. So I want to buy a car for Uber. I want to drive it myself. I'm planning for collecting 60 million for that. Kuish nesi enter nespace nyunga ebe kuwaka center ka. How are we going to do this? Let me just go there. So I think you should consider the wish. Even the Sienna is not a bad car. The Sienna gives you better fuel efficiency. It will get you more trips easily because the guys of I don't know if Uber is still operational in Uganda, by the way. Safecar seems to be taking over. Safecar seems to be taking over. Safecar seems to be taking over. Guys, kindly like and share the program. Thank you, Nick. Isaac, good morning. Tadema Samuel, good morning. Iga Ashraf, good morning. Bashir Mukarazi, Arthur, abatuuze ba wano bonna bampagire okutwala na mukadde. Nze sibalinaako buzibu, basobola okuwagira ogitwale. Luirika Isaac, guys, like the broadcast, tuchimanyi subscription ya Ghana. Isaac, ojaba sobola. Guys, but subscribe to the channel as well. Subscribe to the channel. Give me my bag here. Put my bag here. I think erimu ebyobugagga byange. So anyway, ngabano bajjamu ebintu byabwe. Omanyi omukozi waffe agenda mu kyalo. Gwe tuleese okudropinga wano. Yeah. Guy, okay. People have bought cars this season. Congs to those that have bought cars. I mean, abantu bagula emmotoka, and you'll be surprised. Ate mu bond abantu bagula nnyo emmotoka. People are buying a lot of cars from the bond, but even the used ones. Like me right now, my advice is here. If you have like 22, 23 million, why don't you go to the bond? Never walk there, come on, I pass over Vits. A chinto chipi Baganda lang. Good morning, Brian Wanyama. And Saga. People, it's Market Tuesday. Isaac, this is the time you tell people about Baguleta. I want to buy Nama Sentega with Bagatedesi. They have kept their money. They have kept their money. Nina kuita kalero by force. Ne bashite tumutwalira ne kalero mugenda kungamba okupaka ne kalero waliwo there is a parking before tumutwale kalero because I realize that kati ngenda kita kalero bampisize no wampaka ate kalero there is a parking that is near abakozi bali atwala ebintu byonna abalimba nkomawo mu January oba balooza tuli bagwagwa tetutegeera kati naffe twabayiga. Arthur, wish and drone for tourists, which one is better? I have a budget of 25. Now, Taremwa Samuel, I don't know if a drone of 25 would be good, but the drone would definitely be much better. And if you're going to be using it for tourists, actually, instead of buying a wish, why don't you just like buy a Noah, like a 2008 model Noah? I think it would give you much more value for money. Like the 2008 model Noah, but in a million abiri basobola okugikuwola okitegeera n'ogenda n'ogyewola. It's better than the wish, by the way. It's much better than the wish. Bw'oba tosobodde kugula drone because drone ya million abiri mu etaano eyinza okusumbuwamu. That's the fact. Nendagambye sigenda kudda mu bibuuzo bya mmotoka mubimbuuze ku Lwokutaano. Ono mbadde mmaze omuddamu naye abana sigenda baddamu somewhere. So I'm thinking a drone of 25 might be troublesome, but instead of buying a wish of 25, why don't you go to the bond, pay 25 for a Noah, bakubanje yaka sente ogende mmoroka eyo nyini yebekola sente ezikolaki ezigisasula taxes zizi ngali mazo zaba ate tu. That's better than the other place. Good morning, Mugisha Collins Harvey. I have a plan to buy a peanut grinding machine to set up another income stream, doing it from home and deliver to buyers. How much is the machine? Wilbur, nja kuba nkulimbye bwe nkugamba nti manyi sente ze batunda ka machine yako. I'll be lying. But if there is someone that deals in that, please, in business, where does demand and forecasting apply? Okay, thank you, Deep in Coffee, for the question. It's a very good question. In business, where does forecasting and what? And the demand and forecasting apply? Now, we need to first define. Today is Market Tuesday, people. That's why we are deviating a little. Tugenda kwogera ku motoka zokka tugenda kuba twogera ku bintu bya marketing. So Deep in Coffee alese topic kari ya yiye zezileta ne moroka empe naye baba kajja mukawa sigenda kuddeebwa ayisenze baba kajja nze saagala jamu anywa amafuta asinga ne SC ate bobera mu jamu ngoli mu SC nganze bwembeera bujja bagira. So anyway, Deep in Coffee has asked a question, where does demand and forecasting apply in business? So I'm answering Deep in Coffee's question. Good morning, Vianney. That is in business growth. Now, for any business to grow, you can have tried never defining marketing. Marketing is the management process of anticipating what were we that I don't really remember, but with marketing we manage the anticipation of customer needs, and then we satisfy the customer needs. Now anticipation is the same as works hand in hand with forecasting, or you might actually say it's the same as forecasting, because with forecasting you say weather forecast, you say it's like prediction. You say mwaka ogujja nsubira people might demand this product this much. That's forecasting. Which is the same nimwe abantu bakuba ebitaala oyagala okubeera omuntu ow'empisa naye ogenda okulaba ng'empisa ozirina wekka. This is a bad habit, you Ugandans. It's a very bad habit. Mulekera okuba ebitaala. Oh, kitutadde. So anyway, forecasting in business. Now what is demand? Demand can simply be defined as the urge for people to buy your product or service. That's what we call demand. The urge for people to buy your product or service. That's demand. For the guys that did commerce, you remember we talked about the forces of demand and supply. The forces of demand and supply. Supply is your ability as a business owner to satisfy the demand, but then demand is the urge of people or customers to buy your product or service. So now, Deep in Coffee, now that we have defined demand, you need to understand that it's important for you to always start a business. Uyo wa taxi akikubye nze kanyimirire wano nkirinde kikirine maaso mu kirabo kanyimirire wano nze kambe waluga mubalabe bwe bakuba ebitaala bannange. People stop beating traffic lights. It's a very bad habit. Hakati kitutadde me I can go now. So anyway, we have defined the demand. You see about the border business, Deep in Coffee, for example. The border business has demand. The border business has demand. With this border business, and let's say also taxi business, on what prima rich. Abantu abamu bayiga kulinnya muliro, tebayiga mmoroka. Ojja kwereetera ebizibu musajja gwe amudde na maaso ayige bulungi mmoroka. So anyway, you guys, we are talking about demand and forecasting. Sometimes you need to forecast demand. For example, everyone that is in business, either for food or transport, the forecast is that during Christmas period, there is a lot of demand for those things. People buy a lot of food, people use a lot of transport. Okoze bulungi anti muloba atono jamu arashawa mubi bannange jamu arashawa ajjuddemu abayiga. By the way, guys, I'm forecasting jam today evening. There's going to be a lot of jam. So the people that deal in food, that sell food stuffs, the forecast is that people buy a lot of food, so these guys are going to make a lot of money during the Christmas season. The same thing applies to transport, borders, taxis, Uber, Safe Car, and all that. These guys are going to make a lot of money during the Christmas period. Why? People are moving. People are going to the villages. People are moving from one place to another. And so, this calls for services. There is a demand for those services. There is a demand for those products. Do we have anyone here who can make banners and signposts? Actually, the gentleman that bought a fielder is a NASA guy. He does all that. So, Martha, you can inbox me when number here. Yeah, that one of the reasons why we bought a fielder. He was talking to me. He was considering a Primo new model, and I was telling him, but with the kind of, because he wants the car to also make some money for him, and that's when I told him, but then why don't you buy a fielder? Because the fielder has boot space. So even as you're at NASA Road, it's for parking in Morocco. Kusobora okubanga emmoloka eno ogiwa omwana n'akola deliveries za NASA bano banguze rimu nyingi, bantwala banners. That fielder can be making you some money as you're also at your shop. So Martha, you can probably inbox me and share his number. Tuwenga tuwe wagira bwe tutyo. This whole week is for jam. Yusuf, ate jam is bad. Jam consumes fuel like nothing. Antonio, but naga Antonio. Agamba oku printing Antonio, see fabrication. Of course, that works. The entire process works together. So anyway, deep in coffee. As you're growing your business, you need to first of all create products that have demand. That's why big businesses do product research, they do market research and all that. Because they're trying to make sure that the products or services they bring into the market have demand. Chiba nyogo close, and you're going to create a product or a service, and then there will be demand for it automatically. Which demand doesn't come automatically. It doesn't matter how good your product or service is. If there is no demand for it, people will not buy it. I don't know if I make sense. So you're supposed to research and find that people want the product or service that you want to create for them, and then when there is demand for it, then you can create and people will buy. That's how businesses grow. Businesses don't grow simply by having the best products. No, businesses grow by having the products or services that people need. That's why you realize that Chiseka Market, for example, almost every shop is dealing in spare parts, but every shop makes money because there is demand for that product or service in that particular area. Like here we are at Kalewe Market, almost everyone is selling foodstuffs, but there is demand for those things. There is demand for foodstuffs in this particular area, and as such, the people in the market make money more than the people that have stalls outside Kalewe. Nchosobora okuberanga you have a stall in Bwaise ngoliwo weka atunde nyanya. Naye abantu abatunde nyanya in Kalewe nga there are too many, they make more money than you because there is demand for their products or services in Kalewe. I don't know if I make sense. So it's important for us to understand demand and the dynamics of demand. There are places where the demand for a particular product is much more than in other places. And then there are places where there is no demand at all. You see this place? All those guys are selling chicken. But I'm telling you, they are making more money than a person that has a chicken stall alone in one day. You get? Arthur. Katonda yakola abantu bano kati ona parking ddala mu kkubo. Kati labo beno teri jamu mungi okunforcinga kukola shortcut. So anyway, Arthur, I've been cooking for the last 12 years in and out of Uganda, but I'm establishing food business. But I want to target concerts and shows. That's a very good strategy, by the way. However, if you're going to be targeting concerts and shows, then you're going to be a B2B business. Okay? You have to create networks of concert organizers. You have to create networks of because if you're targeting concerts and shows, it means schools, universities, events organizers, corporate companies are going to be your target market. Chitegeza, you need to create you need to be very good with networking. Omanyi businesses that target normal customers, you don't need to be a champion of networking. I'll give you an example. Like Jomai doesn't need to be a king at networking because everyone can buy from Jomai. But if you're the kind of person that is targeting a corporate organizations to buy land, you're targeting corporate companies to buy land for their employees, then you need to be a champion of networking. I don't know if I make sense. You need to be a champion of networking. What I mean is that then what you're going to be doing is you need to go to various companies, know who to talk to. If it's the human resource manager that champions that project, know how to talk to them. If it's the public relations manager, know how to talk to them. It's the director, know how to talk to them. So you have to be a champion of marketing Travel Life Vlog. But if you're targeting the normal people, if a concert is happening, all you do is book a stall and cook food, then you may not need networking, you just need capital. For example, blankets and wine as an event, they may need like people who are going to cook food. They actually don't need. You need blankets and wine. So you go and talk to the organizers of you go and talk to the organizers of blankets and wine, and then you tell them, you know what, guys, I cook food and I would like to buy a stall from you. And they'll tell you probably pay 1 million, pay 2 million for the 3 days we're going to have blankets and wine. You can come and cook your food according to the standards that they'll give you. And then that will be okay because you deal with the general public. So all you have to do now is to have good food, so that with every event that happens in Kampala, people are looking for your stall. So then you need to understand that then branding is also very important. Create a brand that you're going to build for some good time, until let's say 3 years from the time you started. Now every time someone goes to an event, let's say Rolex Festival, let's say, what is that, blankets and wine, let's say nyege, every big event that happens in Kampala, now then you will know that people are going to be looking for your stall because you give them good food and you have a good brand. Travel Life, and the food business is actually a very good business. And I know you're going to probably be creating fast food. Fast food is actually much better than normal food because someone orders for chips, you cook the chips. It's like you never have wastage of food. It's a very good business. That's why you see that business like Chicken Tonight, they have survived. KFC is surviving. Basically, fast food businesses are thriving because they don't make losses. The only losses they make are from the fixed costs, rent, salaries, licenses. Those are the losses they make. But the things that are not fixed, like power, water, those are things that you invest with every plate of food, right? So it means that the fast food business is very good for you. Me, I think I'm very positive about, and the fact that you have 12 years experience, I'm thinking you know the foods to do for you even know how to create unique menus. What one guy akola Rolex bamuitani. It's like as Rolex here agitunda like 10k. Like he creates very exotic Rolexes, which I've never really eaten those Rolexes, but people talk about them. Personally, I find that buying a Rolex at 10k. Shami and Ibra, how are you? So anyway, good morning. So Travel Life Vlog, I think I've answered. Let's talk about marketing, people. If you have a business and you have a marketing challenge, you probably want a solution. I can be of help. This is the time for you to ask me marketing questions. Only marketing questions. Question Friday. Questions are marketing. Only questions of marketing. Ateno Giovanni ogenda kunizoteka mutinti wawa no maso. Obenga kati awotondaba because kila biko olengerera wano kwa maso kugabira ngaganonya atha. Amina Shamim. So anyway, today is Market Tuesday and we have talked about demand and forecasting. Forecasting can only happen if you have data, by the way. Deep in Coffee Agamba, how can I overcome the dependent demand? Like as you said, we all sell the same product. Deep in Coffee, the best way for you to get out of the rat race is to create a brand. Brands are very, very important. You have to create a brand for yourself where people would respect, would like choose you over the other people. People will choose you over the other guys. Jamu alieno waguru banange. Ate mulabalire kubo lyenkozesa bemanga ndropinze abandi tediba ako jamu na yena ate wafunyo. How can I? Okay, so Deep in Coffee, you can be like 100 people selling the same thing in the same area, but when you have a strong brand, people will always choose you over the others. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. branding, but branding is expensive, by the way. Branding, normally when we talk branding, people think branding means the logo, the business name, the colors, kwambara t-shirt is a company. No, branding is psychology. A brand is what people think about you. The moment someone hears the name of your business, that's what we call a brand. Like you travel like Deep in Coffee with your partner. What you think about your partner, that's their brand. What your partner thinks about you, that's your brand. When you think about Safe Border, that's the brand of Safe Border. So it's important for you guys to understand that a brand is you ask her what to say.
Hi, Robina. Yes, good morning.
So it's important for us to understand it's important for you to understand that branding is something that happens over a long period of time. For example, you should understand that the For the Love of Cars brand has not happened this year. For the Love of Cars started in 2020, and the goal of this channel was to give information that people don't have anywhere else. The goal of this channel was to tell you people the things that people normally would not want you to know. The goal of this channel was to save your hard-earned money. The goal of this channel was why people are not going to Katanga. Why are they all staying here? So anyway, nkola signposts anko. Ozikola Antonio. Oh, but this simanyi. So Deep in Coffee nchali kugwe abalangenda badda mwedda. Nchali ku Deep in Coffee. Create a brand, and your branding process should be intentional. The business name, the name you give your business should be intentional. Boboro woza kulinya elyokuwa business yo tozuka kumacha n'ogamba business yankanyitume ipsam. It needs to have a history, something that you can talk about philosophically. Olaba, for example, when you look at businesses like Elon Musk's Tesla, it has a background. Nikola Tesla is one of the sharpest minds ever in the world. So this guy named his business Tesla to kind of reflect on that. So whenever we mention Tesla, we know that it's a very good brand because it comes from that background. So you start with the naming of your business. You go with you want to create a certain voice for your business. You want that when people think about your business, they get an image in their head. When people think about your business, they get a voice in their head. Is it friendly? Is it professional? Is it playful? Is it colorful? What image do you want people to get in their heads when they think about your business? What voice do you want these people to get in their head when they think about your business? It's much more. That's why you realize that companies like MTN keep refining their logos, because there's something they want you to get. Obulango, I'll give you another example. Obulango ba Airtel. Obo omwaka, obo emyaka ng'etaano. Omuntu akola obulango bw'aba akozesa eddoboozi litya? Because that's what they want you to listen to when you hear bw'owulira Airtel. They want that voice to come in your head. It's intentional. Tebagenda bugenze mu studio ne bagamba gwe gundi jangu okola akalango kaffe. And I've seen this being done by so many business people, simply because afunyeyo sente ezikola obulango. Amalaga genda mu studio nagamba njagala akarango, omuntu yenna inaaliwo n'akola eddoboozi ly'akarango ke. That's not how you should run your businesses. Branding should be something that is intentional. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It should be intentional. Eddoboozi erikola mu karango ko libeere intentional. Kitegeera kye nkugamba. The colors for your business need to be intentional. Every decision that you make needs to be intentional. Abantu business owners, simply because they have gotten access to a celebrity, they take pictures with them. There are things you should not be doing. Manyo gende nakawa to buy cars with people. ba broker ne bakusana Arthur nange nyina channel yange bana nyaga tukoleyo ka feature tukoleyo video fenna olumu nako offering ne sente. I refuse those things. Why? It's not part of my branding process. There's something I want people to think of when they think of For the Love of Cars, and that is not part of it. I've gotten endorsement deals, by the way. Omuntu nakugamba, you know what, Arthur, tuina product tugenda okulaunchinga tubadde twagala obere part of it or to endorsing. Nomugamba neka kati, why would I be endorsing your product? What benefits are the people getting? Olumu ogenda okulaba alabamu nga they want you to endorse a product nayenga when I look at the possible outcomes, the negative outcomes are too detrimental for me. Nengano kulia sente ezo. Because it's not part of I don't want you guys to come and say, you know what, Arthur, you endorsed such and such a product and now it's doing this to my engine or it's doing this to my gearbox. Kakati gorachi waje endorsinga. Ochitegeera. So endorsements sometimes are supposed to be something that come that's why you see that some of the biggest people, the biggest celebrities in the world, before they endorse a product, they research it and they find out, if I endorse this product, for example, can they even give me royalties? Because Achimani, if I endorse your product, its demand is going to probably skyrocket, and there are people that will be buying that product because of me. Now, if I'm not valuable enough for you to give me royalties, then now I'm not endorsing. Use other people. Otherwise, I would be endorsing a lot of people. Obulango mbufuno ina kugamba Arthur mali nyana kuye emitwalo 3 buli wiki oyogere ku business yange. Nengenda okugatagattamu ng'emitwalo 3 omuntu oyo bw'anaakola abantu bange ekintu, I'm going to be paying for that, not him. Okitegeera n'ogoba endorsement eyo. Bamakanika bankubira, by the way. Ngamba Arthur tubadde twagala partnering, but nengana because it's not part of my branding plan. Okitegeera. And the brand is the one thing that differentiates you from the other people. Okitegeera. Nabanyumiza wetwagenda mu bondi ogula primo omuyindi nga ntemyako bwankoonako. Okitegeera. It would be easy for me to tell that gentleman kuba yalina sente tugule eno primo $1,600,000. Oli omusajja ampe $1,000,000 ye okitegeera. But ekyo nakigaana because no. $1,000,000 ye sente it will affect my channel in so many ways. Why would someone buy a Primo at 60 million if it's literally the same with the Primo of 47 million? Ye ono muntu agula yaligenze era musanyufu, by the way. Yaligenze musanyufu ngagamba naguze 2014 model. Yeah, I'm very happy with you, Arthur. $1,600,000. Nenga the 2014 model is literally the same with the 2011 model. Now when we go to the mileage, the mileage literally has really nothing to do with the quality of the car. The other car was much better than the 2014 model, even at the lower price. So there are things in the Nanga Arthur Ngambiraba, I have more to benefit from when I say no. I have more to benefit when I say no than when I say yes. Okitegera kati omuyindi okunyigako yali badasobola okwata $2,000,000 n'azimpa. Okitegera naye nagaana era bwe yantemyako n'entandika n'okumwewala, and I took my buyer aside ne mugamba n'olaba oyo omuyindi abadde antemyako, so let's just not buy that car. Tugende tugulenda. It was a good car, by the way, teyali mbi, but it wasn't the best choice. Ogula prime $1,600,000, it doesn't matter oba 2014 oba 2015 bwaba oli yanamu omusanvu ng'efaana neeno ng'erina ne byegisinga, go with the one of 47 million. I don't know deep in coffee obangezezaako okugamba kati those choices I make, there are small choices that I make over time that will make my brand much more valuable than other people. Okitegeera. Okay, and those are deep in coffee. When them, you can do a follow-up question. I'm sorry, I'm off topic. I'd like to know how much does it cost to be international driving license, and which driving school do you recommend? How fast? I can't recommend a driving school. No. Just go to any driving school. I also don't know how much it will cost for you to get an international driving permit. I've not attempted to do that. Which take yeah. Nyingira kubo ate mbadde siyinza kufulipinga simu omusirikale ali wano ataddeko amaaso baera ngaogikwatako omulya kati eyo nuwa mugiraba eyo osobola ogifuna miliyoni 3 essaawa eno bampereza nuwa 2 z'abasuubuzi. There are 2 nuwas 30 million gwagyetandikira UBP those that 2008 model. Briefly take us through the strategies of how to outcompete your ops through branding and how to rise on the top. I think I've briefly also done that, Chris Fitness. But the best strategy for you to beat your competition is by giving your customers an experience they can't get anywhere. And this is face you are. So anyway, what do I mean when I say this? Chris Fitness or in a gym, kucharoku kwenye nyinyi oba on the same building, there is another gym. The best way for you to outcompete that gym is by giving those people the best customer experience ever. Customer experience involves you understanding what customers are looking for when they come to the gym. It involves knowing how they want to be talked to, for example. It involves knowing how they want to be handled. It involves them wanting you to be professional. For example, I've been to gyms where guys were touching women unnecessarily, or they were touching women inappropriately. That gym, tell musajja ajja kuletawo mukazi we. Naye nga ate ng'era literally all men would want their women to go to the gym babeere fit balabike bulungi, naye kasaba n'alaba nga gwe mu gym gwe abakazi obakwatirira okola biki. That experience is not good for the men. Okitegera, it might even be nice for the women. Oyinza osangayo omukazi nga ayagala omukwatirira, okitegera, naye bbaawe tajja kukyagala, kitegeeza bbaawe ajja mujjayo, okitegera, and that's not something you want. So customer experience is the best strategy for beating your people, and customer experience gives you a bit of the branding. Okitegera, bino byonna byonna I've seen people trying to do promotion. There is nti fe bojja notugulako wano tukuweerako kino, ebyo ebintu byonna byonna promotions oba giving your customers extra things on top of what they have paid for. Those things don't keep customers. You will not outcompete your competitors by giving. Nimulaba bana ba boda mubalaba kati babadde bamukubye ebyuma. You cannot outcompete your competitors by giving offers. Outcompete your competitors by giving good service. Listen to your customers, and by ebintu bino nabigamba tulina kitwaita service recovery. Customer wo bwanyiga, call them and try to fix it. Okitegera, I've told you time and again, ebiseera ebisinga bwe tugenda ntugula emmoroka bantu mmwe munkubira ebintu bigenda bubi, transfer yange atheruddewo naye bantu mmwe biki. When things are going right temunkubira, okitegera, temunkubira. I think omuntu omwe yakomawo nangamba Arthur yali Jude. There are people that actually these days come back on the live broadcast. Neberopa be nyini. Nze naguze emmoroka banange Arthur neyanziza. Nze naguze emmoroka banange Arthur neyanziza. Okitegera. And also I find that for you to be authentic, you need to keep the lines open. The lines of communication between you and your customers, they should always be open. The customer can complain openly, and then you deal with the complaints. I've told you time and again, I will not tell you to buy a car that I wouldn't buy. That's why I've said every moment to Wangamba at the Moroccan Jamanguza Sino Yamgambo Manjireta to Kuem Centers Wajigula. Nzembera winning Ojigula Centers Wajigula. Because I know it was totally worth that money. It was totally worth that money. I don't know, Chris Fitness, if I've not tried to answer your question, you can do a follow-up question. Can you show us the ladies speaking? Uyo mchara muleko ye mama abani mumwesonyiwe. Mumwesonyiwe mumuleke BTTV. Car lovers, we have all new and old car spare parts. Jesse Auto Center, Chiseka Market, number S128. Yes, Joshua. Joshua nali badde nkuwa ne customer wa asooka olwaliro shock absorber za fielder iyo fielder gye twaguze bushoko bwo maaso bunafu bushoko bwo onobunguza sente mmeka ekyo kyogere wanonga buli omu alaba kuba oyinza sanga waliwo n'abantu abalala bagala okugula so shock absorber zeyo fielder gye twaguze yesterday Joshua onozituguza sente mmeka Antonio bakubuuza Martha you can WhatsApp me ne number ya Antonio oyinza nobogi ino already Martha. Good morning guys, Arthur our business blood. Sikutegedde Jovan. Esimu eganye comment ebuukayo. Are you sure? Ojiddamu paka. Arthur nsobola okufuna ku Probox ku million nga 7 nga nkadde. Bita. Bojisanga Probox eyo 7 gula. Naye make sure tochawa muntu. Tobako gonyigira. As a matter of fact, Peter, Probox ne bojisanga ku million 12. Tobako gonyigira. Nkugambye nzomanyi ngena ne mbagamba wane ebintu ne mulowooza nti Arthur oba ayogeza butamanya bantu bange bwe nkugamba nti emmoroka eno ya sente bweziti n'ogisanga wansi w'ezo sente tonyigira omuntu yena tonyigira omubuloka agikufunidde tonyigira makanika agikebedde tobaako gwonyigira ekyo I'm telling you as a friend if you buy a car at a cheaper than the recommended market price don't ever get angry with someone. I remember there's a gentleman, he bought a Starlet, Kalika Starlet. Na agenda iyo yakasanga iyo kupaini, yakasanga mu bondi kupaini, yakasanga wabweru. Omanye bintu emwe byogera babi quotinga bubi, yakasanga wabweru. It means it was probably a broker that brought it there. So nga akasanga wabweru kupaini, nga bakamuguze million 3. Nga nali namugamba da million 3. Emmoroka ng'ebamwe ebyokukola kati bino ebirala byonna yasanga birungi. The engine was good, the body was good, the interior was good. Ng'asasula sente nga mugamba naye emmoroka eyo ku million 3 okikakasa wakebedde nti nakebedde. Amazima ga Katonda, the other car was rotten. You see wano wetulinnya wano wansi yali nvundu. The entire chassis down there was rotten. But what these people had done, they made sure the car looked nice. It had a lot of music. It even had a screen. Kugamba ngere moroka bojitula mu boti. Ne wansi wano bali batetenkanya obutetenkanya. Yagivuga yo kusinga 3 agenda okulinnyamu ekigere nga kiyitamu. Ekigere kyayitamu. Okitegeera. So it's important that as you go to buy a car, don't over focus on making sure you buy a cheap car. Make sure you buy a good car. Ebintu ebimu byembagamba nti emmoroka osobola nogijja mu bondi n'ogula shock absorbers. I'm telling you. So bwe tugula emmoroka enkadde ne tumanya tugigula shock absorbers, tuba tetuguze bubi. Shock absorber tuba tuzirabe nga tetunagisasula. But the shock absorbers don't deter you from buying a good car. Okitegeera. Kati gwe Kaweesa ayagala okugula Probox million 7 tonyigira abantu. Kubanga nze Probox neze million 15 mbadde nziraba. Nenga it's very hard to find a Probox at around 15 nga nungi era eberimu ebyokukola nga abiyitirivu. Omanyi wabawo ebyokukola ebera mu mmoroka nga it's about 500,000 nga ate ebimu bya malidadi. Like the fielder we bought yesterday. Apart from the shock absorbers, okujja kuwabaddeko n'obubomba by the way nerabido buwandiko obwemabego obukwata boot. Ebirala byonna they were perfect. Okitegeera for the type of car it is and at the condition that you would ideally get a fielder like that and in that price range. Okitegeera ebirala byonna byonna omwami obyagenda okukola malidadi. I can tell you that the trim level for that fielder is higher than majority of the fielders you'll get in that price range. But anyway, etuveyo mbadde ngezaako ku making a point for Peter ayagala okugula Probox ya million 7. Tokyawa abantu Peter, tojja kubaako akuloga bw'ogigula n'ekusumbuwa. Ontegeera kye nkugamba muganda wange, because the engine for that Probox alone will cost you about 2 to 2.5. The engine alone kati gwengo ngamba nti emmoroka eyo engine ya million 2 yokka. Actually emmoroka eyo Probox ogiraba newe kuba kugitema butemi, abatemi basobola ogigula million nga 8. abatemi ate abatemi bagula bifunaawo okimanyi kati omutemi bw'aba asobola okugula emmoloka miliyoni 8 gwagenda okugula ayagala okugula emmoloka ey'okuvuga ddala ogenda kugula emmoloka eyo miliyoni 7 wangi ndoze ekyo nkimaze sijja kukiddamu sigenda kuddamu bibuuzo bya mmoloka bya ku Lwakutaano. Friday's question Friday. You can come and ask all the questions on your mind on Friday. I think I have a tape measure in the office. You can go pick it. Over she has her own. So, kamala okupakinga amalirize broadcast eno bulungi. Nayiga. Ate nayiga nentandika n'okusensinga ninga sensa awo etuuse. So, travel life, that's a good idea, but I'm planning to have a movable kiosk for events to sell wines, vodka, cocktails, and whiskeys. Exactly. Now, Antonio, that's a very good thing. Council Patrick Asiku, good morning. Shami Ibra. Prose Bravo, good morning. Quiri Akim, good morning. Lucky Mose, good morning. Frederick Bwire, good morning. Eli M. Jr., good morning. Semaganda Richard, good morning. Lucky Mose, good morning. Ladies should be handled by ladies in gyms and saunas. I find that that's very appropriate, but it's very rare to find ladies to be trainers in gyms. So the focus should be on customer satisfaction, problem solving, and providing best value. Munabia segment ya Chris Fitness. If you want to outcompete your competitors, your focus should be on customer satisfaction, problem solving, and providing the best value. Thank you very much. You will be beating your competition once you have that covered. Musema Saddam, good morning, Arthur. Though I'm not always on the lives, but I always watch the content. Amina, thank you very much. Reina Jordan, Arthur, what is the fuel consumption of the NUA 2008? It's a 1.8 liter VVTi. It's good. It's almost like the Wish. It's the Wish, basically. If it consumes a little more, it would be because of the weight of the body. Yusef Sulaiman is saying also need shocks for passo front and back. Only the Joshua Tugambe Bay Banang. Arthur, where is that button? The YouTube, but the like button is either down here, down there, or up here, or up here. Kati wano waguru wabao X. Click the X, the like kaja kuja. How much can I get a Spacio new model or a new model, even when the number plate isn't current? Bara million nga 15. About 15 BAT TV. Even in hospitals, I would prefer ladies to be handled by lady doctors and vice versa, except for dental. You can now have a good night. Deep in coffee. You're sleeping now. Arthur, I'm a young person. Kindly compare for me Primo old model and Corolla like yours. Saddam, come to question Friday. Arthur, you're 1 in a million. Bananga. In Uganda, people are looking for commission, not the quality of goods they can offer. Yeah. Last time I asked you, can I get a Mark II Grand 7 to 8 million? Guy, it's in good. You can get it. Won't be so good, but you can get. But guys, Joshua's number is here. Joshua has here this number. It's 0705 305419. That's how you should share your phone numbers, by the way, if you want to share your phone number. So Joshua works with spare parts. He has a spare part shocks at Chiseka Market. What's the current price of a used Mitsubishi L200? Oyinza jifuna million nga 15. L200 tewaziseera nnyo. Bakahika esawa eriwa. Esawa mujja, by the way, esawa ya bei naye bwe nabagambe bei mujja kunziba. Akantu na oye mulamu wange yataddemu omusimbi. Nalabe ku box wano n'entya n'okuta ne ngamba abantu bateeka mu bantu baabwe ssente. Bateeka era ngamba mama bani nno nkwata bulungi kubanga muganda we yantaddemu omusimbi. Ajafune KYB front shocks 250. Joshua era bw'onookoma ngenda kulaga woba osuubula shocks kati abalayisimu. Balayisimuko gwasuubula bayinza n'okuwa kulayisa asingako shocks zinateeka mu Corolla ngumu. Naye amazima Joshua nazigula emitwalo 15. manyeza se kwekerera nazigula emitwalo 10 n'emeka, and they are looking for people like you bali wano nabo balina shoko zaabwe naye nga nnungi ziri mu kola ate mbinya bye waffe obimanyi zikubye ebinya all that time we nagula ne bushoko bwa vitizwa kuba bo babunguza 23 but ate baleka kati bongeza kati baleka mwe baguza raisi namwe naye nga shoko zaabwe nnungi nze muli nsuubira zisinga ne KYB. No, your YouTube button. What do you mean, Richard? Good morning, boss. Okay, your statement is not complete. So it's 1 hour and 10 minutes. I have to say goodbye, but let me be reading names as I wait for the marketing questions. Today is Marketing Tuesday. You guys can market your business. You also learn about marketing. Antonio, Joshua, Wamwycliffe, Tusime, Eddie, Pade Mutumba, Abe Bukenya, Tabo Frank, Hashim, Nick Waboyi, Paul Ntege the Great, Kavuma Farouk, Clay Crime, Raiwa, Shafik Lugemwa, Deep in Coffee, Dr. Aman Mahmoud, Bridget Kakai, Martha Academy, Access News. Access News over Dobuze. Uncle Fidox Tours and Travels, Abubeka Asimwe, Paul Ntege the Great, Ivan Kayuchi, Derek Lule, Chris Fitness Ruburwa, Paul Chief Denison, Jovan Mugume, Modric, Semosu Wilba, Roman Rome, Lugumia Tony, King Daniels, Moses Heath, Nsereko Stach, Igash Ashraf, Tanema Samuel, Luidika Isaac, Brian Wanyama, Tarema Samuel, Mugisha Collins Harvey, Kabusu Viani, Owasubaru, Martha Academy, oyi director Martha Academy na Mamukono. Agara kona bipande bya Martha Academy kati. Yusef Sulaiman, Travel Life Vlog, Shami and Ibra, BTTV, Semuga Jovan, Asiku Patrick Kanso Wafoyo, Prose Bravo Kwiri Hakim, Frederick Bwire, Eli M Jr., Semaganda Richard, Musema Saddam, Muloza Sibamazeyo Banange. I do pre-purchase inspection if you're going to buy a car and you want to get a good car at a good price, a good offer. I charge only 400,000 for 2 days of search in the Kampala Central Business District. I come with a mechanic and I recommend that you get your cars and we come and look at them to kurondi them nunji. That's the best way. Nenge moroka webe ekuremye, we can look together tukubira ababroka nga tutambula fena paka wetufune moroka nunji. Because ababroka yatu tuinza bewala. Bakahika Bruno, Okelo Emmanuel, Derek Fisher, better late than never. Good morning, Arthur. Thanks for the broadcast. Always following from the Kamoli. Amina, Derek Fisher, thank you. Those t-shirts you are putting on are for Volodymyr Zelensky. Valdemir Zelensky. Zelensky yambala against Moses. Arthur, YouTube egaba ebirabo. YouTube tegaba birabo. YouTube egaba kasente. Nekatondo. I was doing something else when I heard you talk about shocks. Where can I find good shocks for Ipsam? Jitat Jero, enamba ya Joshua mweri wano, jinonye, enamba ya Joshua badaji share nzao. Ogenda ineduka kuchiseka auto center. Nenge namba weri yao, comment ya Joshua jinonye. I'm in China for my studies. How can I start a car spare equipment in Uganda? At business also in proxy, but you need to get trusted people. You can get a shop, no bango where is it since you are in China, so that you also create like networks there. You can create networks in China, then no gura we do okay ditandike tono nga go where is it. But it's important that you bring things that are unique. Literally everything that is being sold here will match dina. So kuleta kubintu be unique since you're in China or liku source. No bango bireta, so that by the time you come back to Uganda permanently or in a networks into okuba bukubisimu ne bakuweereza. Yesterday wajitadde ku wrong hand. Esawa. It's much more comfortable here, but I realize why men put in this hand. Nti guno mukonos ogukona okola bichi guno mukonte mwina begukola. So I'm going to try and be comfortable with this. Arthur, do you also inspect up country? Up country oyongeramu akasente bambi. Up country oyongeramu sente za transport because ebintu bya taxi ne bus amazima gali sibisobola. Nvuga moroka yange ekirungi ndirawo obeeramu ne makanika abeeramu. Nvuga moroka yange siso ebintu bya taxi bimenyera ddala Saddam naye nga ne up country ngenda, but emoroka za up country ino kubanga edi totally worth it. Nze ngai twagenda ogula Alteza gye nayambako one of my followers to get last year, I think beginning of this year, tugenda ogituukako nga mbutuufu agikutte bupi nnyo ne neevuma ekyantwala e Masaka okitegeera. So anyway, but guy, mwegale nnyo kubeera ku broadcast. Let me say bye bye to you. Tomorrow I'll be updating you about the raffle we bought yesterday and probably something we may buy today. I'm also doing an inspection today, so I may help someone get a car today. I don't remember which car this lady wants, so natuuka wano nanzijukiza moroka kijje tugenda okunoonya, then tugende tuginoonya, but today I'm doing an inspection. Ebiseera ebimu nange neerabira, like today at this week at Platos tulina graduation event egenda beera ku Saturday, so we are tuli mu events kati tuli mu kutegeka right now. Decorator abadde azze kupima we tugenda kukolera event, azze kupima because she has to decorate on Friday. Then we are doing a lot of things, invitation, bichi stationery that is being done. So obwongo bwange buli up and down. Nebo nkubira essimu n'ongamba emoroka gy'oyagala amazima gali nti nja kukwerabira. So when you're going to do inspection bojja, you have to remind me. Yeah, but anyway, guys, thank you very much for being part of the broadcast. Yes, Chiba Samson, you have come late, but better late than never. I wish you a very lovely day. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll update you of the raffle for yesterday and the car we are going to buy today. I don't know which car we are going to buy today, but the lady is going to come and ngambe. I wish you a blessed day. I'll see you tomorrow morning.